Hello, people. Hi. We good. I'm good too. I hope you guys are good. I am super good and excited for this next thing that we want to talk about. And today we're talking about perceptions about love, myths and misconceptions about love that affects our perceptions and expectations wherever we get into relationships. Yeah. Yep. If we want to ask you a very simple question as we begin, you can answer me, you can fail to answer me. It's rhetoric, but it's good if you can give me a feedback on the same. Or you can ask yourself the same. You can ask yourself the same question and try to answer it. What is love? 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 I know you'll come and group all those love types of love unto me. Yeah. So you come and tell me there's romantic love, there is filial love, there is pragmatic love, there is whatever on those that. I don't want you to talk to me about those things. I just ask you a very simple thing: what is love? And this time we're talking about, relationships. Yeah, you get that? Talking about relationships. What is love in a relationship? What do you consider to be love, and what do you consider not to be love? And this is one thing that has no standardized answer. Still, it's still affected by our traditions, views, and the way we feel about it, or emotions, traditions, whatever we've taught, whatever we've seen, whatever we've had. All these things are playing a role in what we think love is. And that's why most of the time when we get ourselves into it, we don't get it right because there are myths that are attached on it. You get that? Yeah. What are you trying to say? Yeah, I'm trying to say. That's why most of the time we don't get it right. We want to compare whatever you feel the other person is feeling on the other end, and that is where we get it wrong completely. So there are some common myths and misconceptions that we have about love, and most of the time we feel that love should always be effortless, and they say love is natural. Yes, they say love is natural. Love is what? Natural. Like it does not hustle its way. When you find the best fit, things will just be flowing. That is a lie and a myth. They don't just flow as you think that it's natural, it just flows. No. Even the love of God to humanity does not just flow that. God loves us with our flaws. He loves us with our weaknesses. He loves us with our problems. He loves us with our crookedness. But you reciprocating that love back to God, it has its own mountains and all that because of who you are as a person. It's not just that easy. Then you tell me that love between a man to a woman will be that easy, or a woman to a man just that easy. No, it's not effortless. There's some work we need to put on when it comes to love in relationships. You get that? It's not just a smooth sailing. No. It's not just a smooth sailing without conflicts or challenges in it. No. There are always challenges and conflicts that will come our way. But how we handle those challenges and conflicts communicates more and more on what we want. I like using this example. In reality, relationships require efforts and compromise. Yeah, I like this. It requires, love requires effort and compromise on very many personal things to just try to accommodate the other person. And the other person also has to, compromise with very many things to just try to accommodate. We're living in an era where as long as it's working for me, I don't care about the other person. And that's why it will always be, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this? Why don't you think about those things that you've done unto me that are unspoken? Why? Oh, you don't have time to do that because you're thinking about yourself. But it's not effortless. We need to put more effort. It doesn't mean a swift sailing that there are no bumps, there are no waves, there are no tides. No, there must be that. But we compromise to let all these things go. Yeah. We compromise to let all these things go. We'll get deeper into that. For now, we're just doing an introduction of this again. We'll get deeper into that. Why should we compromise? Because me and you are raised in different families with different values, different understandings of whatever is happening and all that. Unless even you brothers and sisters, sometimes there will be some differences because there's a way we look at things differently that determine. Okay, That brings us to a level that our understanding of whatever is happening, our reaction to whatever is happening is different. Someone will tell us, there is what we call temperaments. Yes, we'll talk about temperaments later. We'll talk about temperaments later. We are all wired differently. Yeah, talk about temperaments later. We're wired differently. So if someone tells you that love flows naturally, that's a lie. Yeah, that's a lie. It doesn't flow naturally. Like, it's not just something that is just always laughing, always dancing, always cheering each other. No, they're always, there's work that needs to be done. Conflicts will arise, challenges will come, but how we deal with those challenges and conflicts speaks more in the same. Are we together on that? Do you understand me? Yes, I know you do understand me. Uh, you know, whew, eh, yeah. And they say love is enough. There's another myth that people say love is enough to sustain a relationship. And that's why I asked you from the beginning, what do you think love is? If you answer that, then you'll be able to know that love alone cannot sustain a relationship. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, no, no. Love alone cannot sustain a relationship. A good relationship, should be requires more than just love, and there are things that we also need to look into that will sustain that relationship. And these things are, talk about respect, talk about not just communication, but good communication. And the most important thing is in a relationship is shared values. Shared values. We can be too good in communication. We respect each other, but there are values that we don't share that will bring conflicts and challenges in between us. So it should be shared values. That is key in every relationship. As much as there is love, there is respect, good communication, there must be shared values in that. That is key. We must share the same values for us to work together. Two cannot work together unless they agree. So if you are agreeing on whatever values you're working with, then there is commonality in this. So it's easy for us to work together. When we meet challenges ahead, it's easy for us to communicate those challenges and say, oh, that is our goal. That's why sometimes Paul had to say, what does a non-Christian, a believer has in common with an unbeliever? Because you don't share the same values. Your values are so different. Your focus is very different from the other person's focus. Whatever they consider to be good to them is not good to you. Whatever they find source of happiness and all that's not good source of happiness into you and all that. So you sharing different values. And once you get to that, things becomes harder and harder for you. But if you share the same values, then it's so much easy for us to just walk along and do things the way they're supposed to be done. So as much as there is love, there is good communication, there is trust, name all these things without shared values, you're not going anywhere. You need to go back on the drawing board. I wish I had one over here. Go back on the drawing. You need to go back on the drawing board. I'm sorry for that. We need to go back on the drawing board and try to refigure out whatever we need to achieve in life. Yeah, just having children is not a shared value. Okay, that's a value. But after getting children, what next? Think about that. Hey, inaitwa maisha. It's called life. It's in life. That is what we do. So life should always feel like hey, life should always feel like the honeymoon phase. No. I know there's that myth, life should always feel like the honeymoon phase when things are just on the okay. When you're taking them to the moon and back, taking them to the moon and back. Okay, it's okay. You can try Bezos and try Elon Musk. They're taking people to the moon and back, but it's very expensive. It's not just an easy ride, and it's a very bumpy ride, not easy. So they're taking you there. You pay a lot of money. For people like me and you, maybe we cannot afford it at the moment because we don't have those dollars to spend to be taken to the moon and back. Then how do you expect a relationship to just be that much easy. It's just a honeymoon thing, just a happy moment, a happy moment. You're eating burgers, wherever you ask for whiskey, whiskey just comes. Whatever you ask just comes. It doesn't work that way. There is seasons. I want you want to use the word season. There are seasons in marriage. There are stages. The initial stages are always vibey. It's always a vibe. It's hot, fire, flashing over here and there, trying to get things the right way, trying to show, but you're not. You still. How can I say? You're just looking at the eyes. How can I put this? You're looking on the good side of each and everything. You've not started discovering who these people are. Someone said you can fake yourself. There are people who can fake themselves for the longest, but most of the people don't have those skills to fake themselves for the longest. So you can fake yourself for a few days, weeks that you're getting that person. But once you start living your day-to-day life now with this person next to you each and every time, you start discovering new things about these people. And that's where we talked about shared values and compromising. As much as I'm looking at all these things, I can still compromise and say, no, I know I can give you a chance for you to become better in this, but talk about it. You're communicating as you compromise. You're not just looking at it and then you give it a dead eye or ever a dead ear or a closed eye. You don't want to talk about it and you expect them to know that whatever they've done is wrong. No, we talked about communication. That is very key in that. And then you compromise. So it can be it will be bumpy, not it will be bumpy. But how do we get ourselves? Tides will come. Can I float over the tide and get myself to the next where the tide is coming from and allow the tide to just pass us? How are we making everything work in this? So the excitement and the passion in the initial stages is too hot and everyone wants to embrace it and be part of it and feel it. And you go on social media nowadays, you want to share everything, calling yourself my impermanent, whatever guy, whatever names you guys are using, my impermanent, my future, my ride and die. All those things during the initial stages of passion and excitement. I'm excited. Yo, guys, I got my man, I got my woman, all those things that you want to do. But their time comes when you really want to show that this is really my ride and die. And whatever comes our way, we're ready to handle it maturely, think about it, speak about it, and try to get everything done in the best way possible. Are we ready on that? If you're really ready on that, this level will lead you into a much better level of trying to understand this person. If you can only communicate and compromise and have shared values, those three things. You can communicate, compromise, and remember your shared values. It will get you into a deeper understanding of the relationship that you guys are doing, a deeper understanding of what love is, a deeper understanding of what you need to do to the people that you talk, love, and you say that you love. So it's so unrealistic to say that, so unrealistic to say love is an easy thing, it's an easy right thing, and it cannot always be on the honeymoon stage. We need to make it work. Another thing we say, but I'll try to give a context on this. Love can fix and change someone. Yes, I am agreeing on that partly, and partly I'm not agreeing on it. The reason why I'm agreeing on it is, we are who we are for Christians because of the love that Christ loved us first, and that love has changed us. It's fixing us to become better people. But you cannot tell me, okay, there are some stories on that are true, a few stories, isolated stories that are true. So we cannot just rule it out 100%, say it's a lie or it's a complete myth. But it doesn't work to each and every person. It works for specific people and all that. There are people who have changed because of love. Maybe wives have changed because the love of their husbands, and the husbands have changed because of the love that they receive from their wives and all that. It has worked, but it's not for each and every case. So don't push yourself in a situation where things are not just working for and say, it's because of the love that I have, things will work. It might work or it might not work. So that is a 50-50 on it, or a 30%, 70% probability on the same. So it's up to you to weigh the situation and try to understand what is better for me and what is not better for me. But what is better for us makes it better. But this will be fast if the two of us share given values, common values. If we share common values, then love will win over here. But if we don't share common values, then love will not win over here. Unless it's God loving you, unless you're loving them with the love of God and God has sent you to show them that love, then things will work. But if you're doing it out of your own efforts and then out of your own knowledge and understanding, we get it wrong, because there's some knowledge that we've received, information that we've received that is not true. So if you're using that information to try to work things your way, you might not get it right. You might not get it right. Yeah. So love wins, but be careful on that. It can fix someone, it can change someone, but be careful on that. Careful on that, yes. And then another myth is people think, I know I was saying, let me communicate by eating my eating my nail. Someone is asking why you're laughing. I'm laughing because I'm happy. It's amusing. Some will say that when there is true love, there will never be compromise. When there is true love, there will never be compromise. Some will say that wherever there is true love, there's no compromise. And I'll tell you the truth is, wherever there is true love, there's a lot of compromises. That is where we compromise a lot. That is where we compromise a lot as a person. You'll sacrifice a lot and compromise a lot as a person when there is love. Because you're now not looking at yourself, but you're looking at the other person. What is best for them? You deny yourself what you think is best for you, what you think is best for you. Because what is best for you might be misinformed information, and you think is the right information. That's why we said you need to work with facts. Once you work with facts, you will understand that it's not all about me, and whatever was told might not be true. There is what other people are thinking about this, and maybe whatever they're thinking about is true. So you give a listening ear. That's what we talked about, active listening. Part of the communication is active listening. So when you actively listen and try to reason out of that without anger or without attaching your feelings on whatever you've had, then you realize that there is a lot that you need to compromise for the sake of other people. The person is next to you, or that person that you say you love. Amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. So where there is true love, there's a lot of compromises. It's not about you. I know nowadays people say, now how do I change a grown up? Like, how do I teach someone's son to do 1, 2, 3? How do I teach someone's daughter to do 1, 2, 3? I always say this. One golden rule in a relationship, one golden rule in a relationship is be ready to learn and unlearn. And this is what this is simply what, okay, in simple terms, this is compromising. You are compromising on what you think you know is right, letting it go because it's not right for the two of us. It might be right for me, but not right for two of us. So I'll compromise, let it go, and try to bring in something that is much better for us. So whatever misinformation I received that I thought is the right information, I'll let it go and try to learn whatever is right and put it into practice. So you're completely compromising. You're unlearning and learning. That is the nature of a human being. And once you embrace, love it, and take care of it, and put yourself up front to try to learn more and more things. And whatever you're learning, as I said, it should be factual, not myths and misconceptions that you want to apply. That will never work for you. Get facts right and try to make things work. So there's a lot of compromise in love, in true. Wherever there is true love, there is compromise. Wherever there is true love, there is a lot of compromise. We compromise each and every day to try to make it work. As long as whatever you're compromising on is factual and not rumors. You're not talking about rumors. You're not working with rumors. You're not working with what you think is right that has not been tested. No, you're working with facts and truth. Then you're right to go. But if what you're working on is not truth, then leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Another lie, another myth and lie that we have when it comes to love is we always think that love is always romantic and passionate. Ooh, love is always romantic and passionate. You try to be romantic to your man. Try to be romantic to your wife. Try to be romantic to wherever you're being romantic unto and passionate and others. No, these are feelings, and feelings are determined by the occurrences of a given day and whatever is happening there by that time. Once the occurrence or the happening, the action is gone, feelings and passions tend to change. The more you learn, the more you get facts about things, your feelings and desires about those things start changing. Yep. Your feelings and about something start changing. And once your feelings and desires and passion changes about it, you don't give it that much commitment because of whatever you've discovered about it, about that passion, about whatever's happening. So if we say it's always romantic. Love is always romantic and passionate. We are getting it wrong. We say there is a lot of compromise. Wherever there is compromise, that passion might change. That romance might change. So it's not always. What we're trying to say is not always about eating cakes and all these other things. No, it's bumpy, 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 bumpy. It's very bumpy. It's bumpy, bumpy, it's bumpy. And that's why I always say you cannot say that you will know a human being 100% for you to associate with that person, not even 50% for you to associate with that person, because human beings are dynamic in nature. We learn and unlearn, and whatever we learn affects how we act on things, affects how we look at things, affects how we speak of things. And once that changes, the other person might not see it good when you do that to them. Right. If someone has been manipulating you about a given idea or a given happening or a given feeling and all that, then you discover that whatever they've been telling you is not true, but they have been so good, feeling so great, and feeling so happy to manipulate you. Now you discover the truth, and you no longer walk or obey their manipulation or work or act on according to the way they've been manipulating you. This person who's been manipulating will feel so bad because he feels or she feels that you've changed, because it is what you've learned, and they will not like it that way. You get that? That's a very good example used. So it's not always romantic and passionate. No, get it out. It's not always romantic and passionate. Get it out. Yeah? Yeah? No. Can't be that way. Can't be that way. Can't be that way. Can't be that way. We share real love will come with all these things. A range of emotions. Today you're happy, tomorrow you're not happy. Or you're happy today, the next hour you're not happy, and all that. We are human beings, and that is how we are wired. Everything that happens around us affects us differently. And when you're affected, our reactions because of that affection is also will also change. And once it changes, doesn't mean that I no longer love you. I do love you. But maybe in that scenario or in that occurrence, I don't feel like I should talk about this. So why? Can't you give me time to relax and talk about it later? I should not be giving. Okay. As I said, then not everything that is happening should be explained. Sometimes we don't have words to explain whatever is happening. We wish we could explain it, but we don't know how to explain it. And if we explain it the way you think we should explain it, we might not be communicating it rightly, because that is what you want and not what is in me to give it out. So the best communication will be out of willingness after getting the facts right. So that is what happens again. Then, yeah, this is another thing that people think love is based on physical attraction. Nilimuona tu na nikasikia, I just saw him, I saw her, and that there is something I felt, she's well built, all these other things, she's beautiful and all that. He's well built, has muscles. Yeah, I just know. Love is not based on those things. Why? Those things are not permanent. Those things are not permanent. Those things are not permanent. It's like going to, uh, your garden of flowers in the morning. Then you look at those rose flowers, and they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful because they're blooming during the day, during the morning. Everything just working for them. Then it's like, whoa, whoa, yeah, yes, you're excited. You're excited. It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You talk about it, then you go. When you come back during the day when the sun has completely scorched it off, you're like, are these my flowers? Yeah, if you don't fully understand the life cycle of flowers, the life cycle of flowers, you'll tell someone that no, you guys have stolen my flowers and you've changed. This is not my garden because this is not what I left here in the morning when I left. This is not what was here in the morning when I left. Because you don't, and there's something that you don't understand someone. But if you understand it, it'll be much better. The best example to use is the grass. During the dry seasons, we all know that in the morning, because of the dew that has gathered down on the ground in the morning, the grasses will be very green or they'll be very healthy. But once the sun has scorched off the dew on the ground and the dew has evaporated, the grass will do what? Will wither or it will dry off. This is well known to farmers, in semi-arid and arid places. The grass will dry off. But again, when you go look at it in the evening, you'll notice that because the sun has gone down, the grass again is starting to do what? To blossom. You have a field of maize that you've planted during a dry season, and you discover that in the morning the plantation, the maize plantation or the maize in that field is doing very well. But when it starts to hit 11 noon, 1 p.m., not even 11, that is from 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., there's nothing to smile about in that field. It's nothing to smile about in that field because the sun has completely scorched the maize seedlings to a level that when you look at them, you're not even happy because there is nothing good that you can see out of it. But when you go back in the evening, as from 6, 7, and 8, you realize that there is some life that is coming up again in that field. Prevailing circumstances. You getting that? You getting it right? Yes. Prevailing circumstances. So the attraction, the first sight attraction might bring you close to this person. But what I'm trying to say is times change and things evolve or things change. We grow old and our figures changes. The body changes and becomes something that is not good. So if your attraction, your love to this person was because of what you saw and you were attracted to them, and was completely based on the physical attraction, then you'll miss it and say, you are not the person that I loved from the beginning because much has changed about you. But when you realize that it's part of it, attraction is part of it, but not 100% what should determine you to love someone, you get it right. So love is not based on physical attraction only. Macho yalikuona. I know you sing that song. Moyo kakuchagua, mdomo kasema na kupenda. Those guys are lying to you. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Well, I'm an artist and I know we do these things not because we want it to be that way, but we do it because we want to get money. So anything that makes you happy, I'll do it to get money out of you. So that's what I'm trying to talk about, It's not based on physical attraction. alone. Physical attraction plays part, but not the main thing. If you base on physical attraction, one things are not working out for you, then you get it wrong. You might change and try to find something that will make your eyes happy. Yeah. So when they say men love with eyes, they lie. Men love with eyes, they lie. It's not about what we see. There is much that is involved. Yes, we see, we like it, but there's much that is involved in that. Are we clear? Yeah. So that is it all on myths and misconceptions about love. Tell me what you think and what you know about love that you feel it should be added on the list of myths and misconceptions about love. What is the lie that you were told about love? What is that lie that you were told about love? What is that lie that you were told about love? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you share and share and share and share it again. One thing with love is here, you hear they all say that they love the young, the youth, and everyone is loved. Everyone is loving, everyone is loving. What is this love? And what are some of the misconceptions that myths and misconceptions that you know about love? Let me know on the comment section. Make sure you subscribe, Make sure you do what you subscribe. Maybe you can get yourself on the street and try to ask people these questions. What is love? And try to get to know what is their view on love. Yeah, we need to get that. We need to do that. And we'll get. So we get to know the streets wherever you are, and we're asking all these questions and we need to know your answers. Are you right or you wrong? Love you all.